Hey everyone! In previous tutorial we did the first step of our little project, which involved registration for users. In this part we will broadcast a message from our server to the users. For this implementation we will use the PHP script as a trigger to send a request to the Firebase. The process consists of collecting tokens from the database and then sending a request with the desired message along with this list of tokens. So then, let's create a new PHP script. I'll name this script push notification. Then create a new function that has two parameters. First one is list of tokens that we will provide to the Firebase, and the second one is the message. As you remember from previous lesson, message is received in a form of a map with key and value, which means that the message will be an array object here in PHP. Okay, so create a new variable URL that points to the request page. For the request, we will use a post method. Also, we have to provide post parameters. Create a new array that represents our parameters, or in other words fields, and set the key of the first parameter to be named registration IDs. This parameter points to the available tokens that we provide. So for the value, just use the tokens that we pass along with the function. Then set the parameter named data with the value of our message. This is why we use .getData method in Android when reading the message. Okay, so the next step is about authentication. When we send a request, we also must say to the Firebase what is the project that is making this request. Authentication is done through the headers of our request, so we will create a new array again. For the first header field, type the authorization key. Here we must provide a unique key that is generated for our project. To get the server key, let's go to the Firebase console, then project settings. Click on Cloud Messaging. Copy the server key string. Then just paste the key. After that, just add the second header field, which is a content type in JSON format. Now to make the actual request, we use a PHP's built-in CURL library. It is a library for making network requests. I will just copy-paste the code because you don't need to remember all of this code. Most important things from this code are the following: curl_URL, which is the, of course, URL of the Firebase, then curl headers and curl post fields, which are obvious what they represent. I would like to point that we also create a variable named result with whom we execute the request and then save the returned response from the Firebase in that variable. Then we just return the response we got from the Firebase. Okay, so function is now done. What we need next is to provide the actual tokens and also a message. First, the tokens. We will pull tokens from the database and then save them in array. So let's connect first to the database with the MySQL connect function. Then create a statement for selecting a token from our database. Execute this query and save its response into the variable result. Create a simple array for the tokens. Now we check if we got rows from the result. If we got the rows, then we fetch available rows and read their content. Then for each row we append our array with the value that we get from the column token. Okay, so after this is done, we just close the connection. Next, we need to provide the message. As said earlier, it is in a form of key and value. So create a new array with the key being named message and the value being whatever you want. Then to execute the request, create a new variable and call the function from the above, providing the tokens and a message. And just let's print out this message with the echo function so we can read if the request went well. That's all. Let's test. Just call your PHP script from the browser. And now, as you see, the status says success with the number of 2. That means the Firebase has sent a message to 2 devices. Now let's check our emulators. And that's it. Everything works. We received the message that we sent in a form of notification. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.